Welcome. In front of me is a VIVO IQOO 5 Pro, and today I'll show you how you can go through the setup of this phone. So when you boot it up for the first time, you should be presented with this screen right over here. So number one, I'm gonna find my desired language by tapping right over here, and then obviously selecting English, which I believe I'll confirm with this. Yep, there we go. And then we can get started with OriginOS. From here, terms of service. So we have end user license agreement, privacy policy, and then probably something that we don't really care about because it's not a necessity. So obviously select I agree. Without it, you can proceed any further with the setup. Next page, you can connect to some kind of network here. Now, if you want to, obviously, if you don't, you can skip this. The only difference I believe will be that if you choose to skip this and also not insert a SIM card, you won't have any kind of internet, and thus no network connection. And because of that, if there is an option normally, then it might not show up as in logging into your Google account. But I'm not exactly sure if this phone even has Google account, so I guess I will find that out at the end. Now I'll be skipping it anyway. Which takes me to the next page, setting up a unlocking method. We have several different ways of going about it. We have a fingerprint, face recognition, and also password, or technically PIN, pattern, or password. So you can select if you want to utilize one of them or all of them. It's up to you. Now if you're planning to use either face recognition or fingerprint, or both of them, in any case, you will also be always required to set up either PIN, pattern, or password. Now the reason for that is because if something would happen with the sensors or with your face or your finger or both, you would lose access to your device. So that allows you to actually access your phone in some kind of other way that isn't like subject to change, basically. Anyway, I'll be skipping it here, and we have login to VIVO account. Now this is optional, you don't need to. I don't even know if they give you any benefits for logging into it, like if they have something like Samsung, so you can log into it or you can just skip it. Now keep in mind, all those things can be changed later on after the setup is completed by simply going into the settings. Now, skip VIVO account login. Logging into your VIVO account gives you access to VIVO membership privileges and special services such as backups of important informations. Are you sure you want to skip? So basically the only thing that they give you, because if there were more they would list it here, is the backup, which if it has Google account as well as in Google services, that is kind of useless. So I'm just gonna, actually not what I wanted to press, skip, there we go. Recommended services, join the user experience improvement plan. No thanks. Carrier services and smart update. Now smart update I believe will new versions will be automatically downloaded over Wi-Fi and installed when the phone is in idle at night. So just an auto update overnight, which is enabled by default, just like everything else, which I'm gonna turn off a couple of them. Oh boy, there's actually way more than I expected. We have location as well. Online recognize unknown numbers. Sounds interesting. I'll keep it on. Lock screen poster. I believe this is similar to what Huawei has with their carousel. If you ever seen that, it just kind of flips over, changes your wallpaper on the lock screen every time you unlock the device or every time you wake it up. Just like a random slideshow, basically. And we have important notifications by enabling the scheduled devices per command. I think this could be like the, I don't know how it's called. I did used to get those on my phone until I disable it, where it just kind of gives you, I think, messages based on what important stuff might be happening around you, as in, for instance, a thunderstorm coming in with strong winds or something like that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, next thing is Smart Launcher. We have some, just a some addition to the launcher. Now you can obviously read every one of them exactly in depth what these do, but honestly I don't really have too much time. There is a couple more in here. Looks like there's a couple pages of them, though I might be wrong, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is just an import data. Anyway, from here, obviously, it's self-explanatory. You can import data from an older device, and we have several different ways of going about it. So we have from Vivo, from Android, or Apple. Now, in terms of Vivo, because I'm pretty sure this is using their own proprietary application for this, you will just need to open up the application that this phone comes with. But on Android and Apple phones, you will need to go to the basically the App Store page or App Store application. That'd be a Play Store, or I think it's called App Store on Apple, and downloading whatever it tells you to download right here if you were to choose one of the options. I don't know exactly what the app is called, but you will most likely need it. And then launch the app, and you'll just connect over a hotspot between those devices and import your selected data that you want to move over to this new device. And additionally, you can also import it from Vivo Cloud. Obviously, if you have an account and if you used a Vivo phone in the previous, that is an option. But obviously, if you're coming off of something like an Android, a different Android device, or Apple, you most likely don't have any kind of Vivo Cloud backup, just because you kind of couldn't use it on these options. You can only use it on Vivo. So that will only leave you with these options right here. Now I am planning to set it up as new, so skip. And then we have system navigation. So we have several different ways of navigating, which is actually the bigger variety than I expected. So we have navigation keys, just a typical OG navigation style with the buttons at the bottom, like you can see on an image. Then we have classic 3 sections, which I think the closest thing I can compare this to, I believe Samsung used to do that before they implemented actual gesture navigation. So what these do is imagine the buttons but into gestures. So you still need to swipe up on them, but you need to swipe up precisely from a specific portion. So if you want to go back, you would swipe up from the right side. Home would be the middle side, and recent would be the left side. While gesture navigation, if you are aware how they work, have all kinds of different gestures for how to navigate through it, which is what I will be selecting. We have lock screen style, so we have Origin cover or a light. I'm not exactly sure what light is. I did experience the Origin one, which I don't know if I really like it. I'm gonna bring it up just so you can see how that actually looks like. Can I no, I cannot actually see it. So yeah, I think the light is just a typical one that you might be experienced with, but the Origin one, once it actually loads up, you will be able to see that it is a little bit weird. So let me lock the device. So this is the Origin one. It gives you a couple apps on the side. It gives you whatever the heck that is, and then to unlock it, you swipe up on this. And obviously, if you have some kind of lock screen on here, or when you're swiping up, you will basically be pulling up that lock screen unlocking method. So you then need to verify it. Anyway, that was basically the setup of this phone, and if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.